Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
Hello and welcome on in to the Wicked Boston Show. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. Zach Burke is behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week, live on YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern time, at least for now, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It is right here on the Wicked Boston Show. And man, what a week do we have for you. We are going to be in San Francisco tomorrow. Starting tomorrow for the Patriots and the Seahawks, obviously in Super Bowl 60. Today, we're going to talk about the craziest controversy so far, I would say, of the Super Bowl buildup. We're also going to talk with Mike Debate, talk about what the Pats are looking at this week, what actual advantages they have, why are they the underdogs, what are we most concerned about with this team, and then I do want to talk a little bit of Red Sox later. But first, let's take some stock in this right now. You guys remember this? This is Super Bowl week. Welcome to Super Bowl week. It's felt like a long time. I know, boo-hoo. The last couple of years, us Patriots fans have had to live vicariously through other teams in Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week became that week on Twitter where you just saw all those old videos of when you used to play in this game. And every day was an anniversary, right? Like, yesterday was Super Bowl 38's anniversary. And I think tomorrow is actually going to be the next year's, because I think it was a leap year. And it just became all the way up and down the list. February 3rd, which is tomorrow. That is the Super Bowl 36 anniversary. So I'm getting my dates mixed up on 39. But that's what it became for a couple of years. And now it's back to what it should be for us spoiled few who've turned into many over the last 2 decades. And that is preparation for the Patriots to be in the last football game of the year. Like, it's special, man. When you go on to ESPN.com, I wouldn't recommend that. Go to PFF, there's one game left. Patriots, Seahawks. That's how it should be. And hopefully to many, many more of it. But one thing we do remember from the Super Bowl is every year the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, something comes up. You plan out your content. You think, man, it's going to be a slow dragging on 2 weeks. We got to get out all these different topics. And then something always happens in the build-up to the Super Bowl that gives you better stuff to talk about, right? This past week, it was Bill Belichick getting snubbed from the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Still ridiculous, by the way. Still ridiculous. And then we got another one going into the final week before the Super Bowl. And this one is classic Patriots Super Bowl absurdism. Just looking for something. Because reports came out at the end of the week that the Seahawks would go up for sale after the Super Bowl. It's what the Allen estate wanted. So now they are up for sale. It happened before. In fact, the Celtics, we just saw it a year and a half ago. They went up for sale days after they won the NBA title. But now it's a conspiracy theory when it happens to the Seahawks. And if the Patriots are even tangentially involved, as in being their next opponent, then surely it's the Patriots' fault. At least that's what Brock Huard says. Former NFL quarterback, now on Sports Talk in Seattle. Well. The NFL team that goes to any length to play games on and off the field. I don't know what playing games on the field means. I think they've played the same amount of games as the Seahawks have. In fact, they've played one more, so maybe that's it. But Brock goes on to say, no question in my mind that the Krafts or friends let media know that the Hawks would be up for sale. A tactic and ploy the Patriots would use to try and create a distraction. Anyone surprised? Retweet. +1, Brock Huard. Yas Queen. You nailed it. I am sure the Krafts and their underbosses and their capos got together and said, we're underdogs in this game. We need to tell everybody that the Seahawks are up for sale. That's what'll win us the game. That's what'll give us the edge. Sure. And by the way, man, do the Krafts have a media machine? Of course they do. Of course they do. Inadvertently, they're probably one of the reasons that Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. With that Dynasty Apple TV miniseries that they did. But I don't get this one, okay? I don't get this one. Oh, because of Spygate. Because of Deflategate. Like, Spygate probably did give them something of an edge. Of course, nobody remembers what Spygate actually is. It's not filming hand signals. It's just where you filmed hand signals. But certainly, I guess that would give the Patriots a bit of an edge. Deflategate, if it were real, would have given the Patriots an edge. How does this give the Patriots an edge? What? I don't get it. Sam Darnold's got 2 defensive tackles bearing down on him, and he's got a guy open in the end zone, but he remembers that the Seahawks are up for sale. Is he going to throw a pick there instead of a touchdown? Seahawks, are their tackles going to miss blocks because they're like, oh no, my team's up for sale? Oh, well, it'll create a distraction throughout the week. Players will have to answer about this. Which makes this, I believe, the first time in Super Bowl history that players will be asked about something other than the game. I think that's the first time that has ever happened. And the last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, all the players had to ask about inflation in footballs. And you think it's going to be a distraction that one team is up for sale. So I don't really get what Brock is after here. Like I don't understand what the distraction is. I don't understand how it has any bearing on the game whatsoever. Because by the way, whomever buys the Seahawks, their checks are going to clear. Okay? The players can go to the bank and still get their money. There's not talk about a new coach. There's not talk about a new GM. Not that I don't think that would have much distraction anyway. It's just a new owner. AKA, who the hell cares? Seriously, who cares? But I'll tell you, Seattle media is running with this one. Here's the cheating Patriots back at it, right? Creating this distraction so that they can get an edge in a game they have no business winning. Sure, okay, whatever. But the Seattle media is serious about this. It's kind of sad. But the Seattle media is running with this. And I want to take this quote. This is from Cole Musgrove of Seahawks Wire, who does some good stuff. I'd actually love to get Cole on the show this week and talk a little bit more about this game in particular. But he puts in this article about Brock Huard's statements. He says this, because Seth Wickersham got the story out there. So Cole Musgrove writes, additionally, Seth Wickersham recently published a book, It's Better to Be Feared, which is obviously about Patriots dynasty. That was 3 years ago. Wickersham clearly has a well-sourced network inside New England. So again, it doesn't take much to assume that there are those within the Patriots organization who might see him as a useful avenue to disseminate their agenda. God, I love a good agenda. I do. I love a good agenda. And I understand what Cole is saying here. I do. But if you don't mind, I'm gonna poke some holes in this. Because yes, Seth Wickersham is well connected around New England. And yes, he wrote that kind of tell-all book with a bunch of anonymous sources, which at some point you got to take with a grain of salt. But he did. He published this. A lot of people ran with it, right? But I will also say the last big story that Seth Wickersham broke before the Seahawks getting sold, or up for sale, I should say, the last big NFL story Seth Wickersham broke was a few days before that, when he found out that at least 11 Pro Football Hall of Fame voters are not going to vote for Bill Belichick to go in the first ballot. So what that tells me is Wickersham and Van Natta had to have nailed on proof or on good accord that at least 11 guys were not going to vote for Bill Belichick. I just got some news for you. The 11 voters who didn't vote for Bill Belichick are not all within New England. So I say that to say, Seth Wickersham has other sources that are not within the New England Patriots. When I tell you that people out there, media, fans, sports talk hosts, will find anything to pin on the Patriots, this is what I'm talking about. Like, again, maybe I need to be told like I'm 5, because sometimes I am 5. But like, what advantage do the Patriots get by the Seahawks being up for sale? Like that doesn't change Sam Darnold's numbers against the blitz, right? That doesn't change the Patriots' defensive efficiency on third down. That doesn't change how often Mike McDonald is going to play corners. Like it's not, that has nothing to do with the game at all. Like this is just grasping at a bunch of straws to try and pin something else on the Patriots. And obviously it's nothing. Like it has nothing to do with the Patriots, but this is just one other thing that people will think about with this team. Boo-hoo, poor us. But like, come on, man. Like what? Clearly Seth Wickersham is pretty connected throughout the entire NFL scene. Not everything has to be the Patriots' fault. In fact, few problems with this league are the Patriots' fault. So go ahead, like blame the Patriots. Don't blame the Allen family who are actually selling the team and have been looking around trying to find buyers. Like, don't blame them. It's the Patriots' fault. I think it was also, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was also the Patriots' fault when Bill Parcells was calling other teams, interviewing for other jobs while his team was in the Super Bowl. I think that was also their fault. I think when the lights went out in Super Bowl 47, I think it's because the Patriots weren't in that Super Bowl. And so they just forced the lights out. Or when they didn't make it in Super Bowl 41, so they made it rain in Miami. I remember this. I remember it fondly. It's all the Patriots' fault, man. All of it. Patriots' fault the Eagles won Super Bowl 52. They benched Malcolm Butler. Patriots' fault. Look, it happens. It happens. So, yeah, we're going to call this one a reach. Like Wilt Chamberlain, stick your arms out as far as you can kind of reach here. Okay? I just don't understand how this is the Patriots' fault. And I think this is Brock Huard probably trying to, I don't know, rope in some more listeners. I don't know why you would need it 9 days before the Super Bowl on Seattle Sports Talk Radio. But to me, this just makes no sense. And I saw it on Friday after our show, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is dumb. This is obviously just a dumb tweet. In fact, I put the picture of what's his name, the character actor he's in Billy Madison, saying what you just said. Like, not a single coherent point was made. We're all dumber for having listened to it. And then I saw it pick up. Like over the weekend, you search Patriots Seahawks, and that's what comes up. The Patriots being nefarious, going underhanded again to get the Seahawks distracted. Like, I don't know. I thought it was a little far when the Patriots made Bo Nix break his ankle, but maybe this takes it a step further. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they paid C.J. Stroud to throw 4 picks in that game. Could have been, because all I heard was that the Patriots didn't win it. The Texans lost it. So here we go again. Patriots just underhanded. Last time these two teams met, Patriots obviously got more of the non-football questions, but I think they did that on purpose. I think that was another sabotage. Seahawks had to think about those questions if it came to them. So here they go again. Patriots in their underhanded cheating ways. Just getting the place riled up. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like that video. Subscribe to the channel. We come at you live on YouTube every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, because these are the kind of theories you get in Sports Talk Radio. It's right here on the Wicked Boston Show. I'm going to try with Cole. I think he does some good work, actually, with Seahawks Wire. So I'm going to try and get Cole here on the show this week. Let's talk some Seahawks angle of this, because, boy, the Seahawks fans did not like us going through the numbers on Friday with Joe Shea of Fanatic Sports, which was an awesome segment, by the way. Joe did a whole film breakdown he basically highlighted one thing the Patriots are really good at and the Seahawks are not very good at. And the whole comment section is just Seahawks fans going, oh, just reaching at anything. Seahawks about to beat that ass by 20. Like, one thing. Oh, they're just grasping at anything to make a copium. make them think like they could win a game. Like, there's actually no question when you look at the experts around the league. The Patriots' interior defensive line is better than the Seahawks' interior offensive line. It's one distinct advantage they have in this game. And Seahawks fans are like, no advantages, none. I love it, man. It's a good fan base. I love it. With the Texans, bro, we didn't get anything. The Broncos even, we didn't get anything. You're too worried about getting Patriots fans in their own stadium. I like having these fans in here and in the comment section. And boy, it's a win-win, man. If the Patriots win, my channel's going to grow. If the Patriots lose, I will be depressed, but there's going to be a lot of comments, which means it'll drive some more traffic. So what can I say? The real controversy with the Patriots that I do want to get into probably tomorrow, because it's something that is pretty trivial, but I hate, is not Fanatics Sports, the one that Joe Shea works for, but Fanatics, the apparel company, is just ruining style, like ruining sports fashion. I throw out there loosely because, like, there are Patriots fans out there who they just want to spend some hard-earned money on a white Patriots jersey, the one they're wearing in the game, with Drake Maye's name and number on it and a Super Bowl patch. Shit out of luck. You cannot buy those. The only white jersey that's on sale in the Patriots Pro Shop is some Fanatics exclusive that they've never worn and will never wear in all likelihood. That's the only one you can get. Fanatics just sucks, man. It just sucks so hard. And of course, that jersey's not stitched. If you have wanted to buy a stitched Drake Maye jersey since September, you are shit out of luck. They sold out and they never restocked them. Never. The best you can do is $160 for a screen printed one that's way too big. That's the best you can do. As you can tell, this works me up, man. Like, I'm going to be out there. I'd love like a Super Bowl hat. Maybe, yeah, like I don't have a Drake Maye jersey because you can't fucking buy them. Like, I'd love to have one that's got a Super Bowl patch on it. Can't do it. You can buy a blue one. That's not the jersey they're going to wear, but you can have it. Again, only screen printed, only $160. And this is not new, man. Fanatics is ruining stuff, just ruining it. But anyway, if you've got a gripe with Fanatics, actually, let me know in the comment section below. Then then subscribe. Find us every weekday on YouTube, live, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. We've got to bring in our Monday expert, Mike Debate of Sports Illustrated, covering the Patriots. We usually talk to him after games, but I gotta get up to date on how he is seeing this game. What advantages he's seeing for the Patriots, what he's most concerned about, and then, yes, of course, some of the best storylines going in to Super Bowl 60. It's all coming up after this short break here on the Wicked Boston Show.
Blackmore Bar and Kitchen, located in Charleston, is the perfect spot for a bite and drink before a Bruins or Celtics game at TD Garden. Blackmore Bar and Kitchen offers 34 rotating beers, craft cocktails, and an eclectic menu of tavern favorites like burgers, sandwiches, and flatbreads. Join us for brunch every Saturday and Sunday, plus pre- and post-game garden events. Blackmore Bar and Kitchen. Check us out at blackmorebar.com.
Dive into adventure with scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Golf Partner.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
Welcome back. Wicked Boston Show here on Rogue Media Sports Network, coming to you live on YouTube as we are every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. In fact, we might even need to shift times later in the week because we will be out on the West Coast. So we're going to have to figure out how that works for this show in particular. But it is the Monday of the Super Bowl. The first time Patriots fans have had to prepare for a Super Bowl in 7 long years. 7 grueling years. But here they are back in against the Seahawks in a game where so far the Patriots are not being given much of a chance. And trust me, I get it. I get it. Seahawks are a really good team, right? The Patriots are sitting here at 17-3. And they did play exclusively National Football League teams this year, and they are deserved to be here in the Super Bowl. And now we need to find the ways where they can get after the Seahawks. So as we do every Monday, we bring in my good friend and great Patriots expert from Patriots on SI, Mike Debate, joins us now. And Mike, I know it's happening again, right? It feels like we're back in the swing. Not only the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but according to Brock Huard, they are cheating and lying and underhandedly making sure that everyone in the world knows that the Seahawks are up for sale. I mean, I can't believe it. Mike, the Krafts have done it again. They have successfully thrown everyone off their path.
Yeah, those diabolical Krafts. You know, they're rich, they're corrupt. They're married to your mother,
causing a distraction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really is. It's like I feel like Doc from Back to the Future Part 2 describing Rich Biff. You know, really, I think in so many ways, you look at what this whole situation with the Seahawks and with Brock Huard, and now weighing in on Robert Kraft and what he's doing. I mean, if a team is going to be up for sale, that news is going to eventually hit no matter what. I mean, you're not leaking information that is damaging. I mean, if you want to talk about leaking information that's damaging, that has no basis in reality, let's go back to what happened to the Patriots in 07 and 08. Yeah. And, a baseless foundational argument that said that they were recording walkthroughs, and that never happened. They had to retract that. They had to apologize for it. But the seedlings were out there, and you can see it all week long in the Bill Belichick saga and him not getting in on the first ballot. So many of these unhinged rants are coming out on social media, on the regular radio airwaves, talk hosts and quote unquote journalists. I'll say journalists. That's the right term to use, Cam, for a family show like the one that you put out here. They're coming out of the woodwork and they're diving all over Spygate, and they can't wait to dive back into it, and they can't wait to keep pushing false narratives. This is not a false narrative. So, the Patriots are damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. They have that national perception out there. Unfortunately, it comes along with wearing that uniform and putting on that flying Elvis helmet that, the Patriots are going to put on. It comes with it, with the territory. But to me, this is a much ado whole situation about nothing, I guess, is the best way for me to put it. The most respectful way for me to put it.
Yeah, like it's funny. Like I went over it in the first segment. It's like I don't even understand what the distraction is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're going to be asked questions. It's the Super Bowl. Like they're gonna be asked questions here. Let's talk about much ado about nothing, because there is some rumblings about that in the sense of the Patriots quarterback. Mike, before we get into some of the matchups in this game, there's still questions about Drake Maye. Was he hurt before the Broncos game? Did that, make it worse? And now he's on the kind of hypothetical injury report, and then other Patriots quarterbacks taking reps at the end of the week. So what have you made of this Drake Maye situation? It seems pretty obvious he's going to play. It's the Super Bowl, but is he going to be limited after 20 games this season?
Well, that to me is the ultimate question that should be on Patriots fans' mind right now, is how much is this throwing shoulder, how much is the illness he's suffering from going to set him back? Now, Drake looked very healthy. He looked very ready to go, and he looked enthusiastic when he was at the Patriots send-off rally on Sunday morning when the team was getting ready to ship out, basically, to Santa Clara, California, and wing their way to the West Coast so that way they could participate in Super Bowl 60. Take of it what you will. I mean, Drake is a professional athlete. He's going to tough through it. I'm sure there are worse for the wear, people that will be better equipped to examine someone's well-being or someone's, physical appearance when it comes to how they look when they should be healthy as opposed to not. I'm sure that's going to be broken down on social media at some point. Probably already has started. Probably already is continuing to go. But when it comes to the shoulder, that's really, I think, the question mark. Is it going to inhibit his ability to throw the ball downfield? Is he going to lose a yard or two because of any type of lingering pain that he continues to have? That's a valid concern, in my opinion. But anybody worried about whether or not he's going to suit up or whether or not he's going to give 100% of what he's got, don't worry about that at all. Drake will be in the lineup. He will play. I don't believe it's going to hinder him to the point where it's going to affect his gameplay in earnest. But there's always that opportunity where, maybe he looks a little more mortal than he normally looks. And if that's the case, Seattle is going to be ready to try to pounce on that. So it'll only become a situation if we continue to keep hearing that he's limited in practice. The public is not allowed to see him throw early on. I mean, these are all question marks that I would have heading into this week of practice in Santa Clara. If it's more just business as usual, then I think you can probably put it behind you and assume that Drake will be full strength or as close to it at this point in the season when Super Bowl 60 kicks off.
It's probably a good thing for the Patriots, by the way. Like, I'm not trying to take the Patriots side in this sense of things, but like with practices being so limited before the Super Bowl and there's not many people that can see it, we don't have someone just like grading every throw he has in practice or trying to find the arm angle of every throw in practice. So that's probably a good thing from their standpoint. Talking with Mike Debate of Sports Illustrated here, getting ready for Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl 60. We just talked about Drake's arm injury there. The extent of it, we don't necessarily know, but clearly something going on there. How much, though, does Drake Maye's legs come into play, I should say, in this game against the Seahawks?
Well, they're going to have to be working at full strength because one of the great things that Drake is so good at is going off script to create big plays. And we've seen him do it several times, not only in the regular season, but also in the playoffs. But this Seattle defense, and the more I dive into it and the more I watch it, is so chameleon-like. And that's really, I think, the best analogy that I can give to it. They are so good at being able to adapt on the fly. If you're giving them pressure, they're going to respond with pressure. They're going to keep pressure on the quarterback. If you decide that you want to try to run the ball, they're going to stack the box and they're going to be able to defend it. If you want to get into a deep passing game with them, they've got the secondary to make things happen and to take shots away. So anything that you do is going to be tough to do against the Seattle defense. They make you fight for every yard, every inch. And that, to me, is going to be something where Drake is going to have to be adaptable. He's going to have to be able to use his versatility. And the guys around him are going to have to step up. I'm looking for Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson to be weapons, potential receivers out of the backfield to help get that offense going a little bit. Kayshon Boutte, Stephon Diggs, test the deep part of the field. Try to see if you can catch some of the secondary members of that Seattle defense off guard. And then you look at the tight end situation, and to me, this could be the key of the game. Seattle is not very good against tight ends. They're only average, maybe even below average, but depending on some of the ratings that you've been reading this week, this could be a big game for Austin Hooper, could be a big game for Hunter Henry. And don't necessarily count out Mac Hollins in that as well. I know he's a receiver, but he's got the size and the contested catch ability to play like a tight end in the intermediate areas of the field. The Patriots can get to that Seattle defense. They can make those things happen. And it starts with a healthy and competent Drake Maye up front.
Lest we forget, by the way, Austin Hooper does have a Super Bowl touchdown. That is confirmed. He has one. I don't think a lot of Falcons fans are trying to remember much of that game, but he does have a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And I like the point about Mac Hollins, too. I mean, how big was he coming back in that AFC Championship, if nothing else, for running the ball? I mean, what a blocker. And even at the end of that game, you knew he's on there, they're going to run. And he ends up with one of the biggest catches of the game, too, the flea flicker. Don't sleep on Mac Hollins, I would say as well. I'll echo that point from Mike DeBate. But looking at the Seahawks defense, right, they're really good. And you talked about their adaptability. You know, we point out really one and a half things that they are vulnerable in, and they got 2 weeks to prepare for the game. So, you know, that's what makes the Super Bowl so great. Is this the most concerned you've been about a defense that the Patriots have faced in this playoffs? Because this will be 4 top 5 defenses they played now.
It's tough to say because so much of what New England does can be neutralized by a pressure-packed front seven that relentlessly pursues the quarterback and tries to get Drake off of his game and tries to confuse him. That, to me, maybe instilled a little bit more fear into me initially. Defenses like the Houston Texans and even the Denver Broncos when they're running at all speed. That's the type of defense that they can utilize. But you look at what the Seattle Seahawks do well, they do everything well. So in terms of that, in terms of like that initial fear, maybe that initial fear isn't there, but it's like it's an all-encompassing worry about what Seattle does well. And look, in the regular season, you look at the numbers that they've put up, you know, between Wasso and Williams and Murphy. These guys can get after the quarterback. They get several guys with 7 sacks, 6 sacks. They know how to pressure the quarterback, but you also look at things like tackles for loss. You look at things like total tackles, guys being able to get after and stop people in the open field. Seattle can do so much of that. So in that regard, New England has to be ready to counteract whatever they're going to counteract with. And I think this goes back to your previous point. Patriots are going to have to run the ball to establish and try to control the line of scrimmage up front. That's going to be key for this game. If they can do that, that gives them the opportunity to keep Seattle's defense on its heels, and they can control the tempo. In order to do that, they're going to need to run effectively, which means Stevenson and Henderson are going to have their A game. If for any reason that design run game gets shut down and Seattle's got the horses to do it, that's when Drake's going to need to use his legs, go off script, make things happen, and get something that's going to allow them to be able to keep Seattle from really getting after the guy with the ball, because that's essentially what they love to do. They love to get the guy with the ball. They love to take it away. Don't give him the opportunity to do so. Keep him on the defense all game and see what you can do to make things happen. And when all is said and done, I expect Josh McDaniels to dip into his bag of trickery at some point when maybe you're not expecting it. And who knows? That could mean Marcus Jones getting an offensive look. That could mean Afton Chisholm getting an offensive look if they choose to activate him. A lot of different ways that they can go. Like I said earlier, the tight endage is somewhere where the Patriots could exploit. That extends to their ability to defend the slot. If they think that Efton can be a very good slot weapon, don't be surprised to see him active in this game. A lot of different ways that you can try to counteract what Seattle does well.
That is fascinating. And like, I love the idea of giving Josh McDaniels a couple of weeks. Like I just do. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm stuck in 2017, but I love giving Josh McDaniels a couple of weeks and scheming up what he can do against a defense that is this good. And I like the point about running the ball. It's not something that has been at the tip of everyone's tongue when talking about this postseason for the Patriots. It's been the defense, Drake Maye, good, bad, or otherwise, Will Campbell. But realistically, when you look at the 3 games they played so far, the one thing that's been certain in this postseason is they've owned the line of scrimmage in all 3 of them.
Right.
And you want to say, it's because the Chargers didn't have this guy, or CJ Stroud just sucks. Like, whatever, man. Like, whatever. But the bottom line is they've dominated both trenches every game, including, a game last week where everyone knew what was coming the whole second half, and the Patriots still dominated it. So that could be a huge, huge part of this game. And I want to talk about this Patriots defense in the trenches. because it looks like maybe the biggest advantage they have, even if it's only 2 or 3 advantages in this game, is that Patriots interior defensive line against the Seahawks interior offensive line. And certainly that's been a unit that's been great for New England the whole postseason. I want to focus on one guy who's played in the Super Bowl with the who's on the Patriots now, who has played in the Super Bowl. I think there's only like 2 or 3 of them on the team. And one of them is Milton Williams, who was great in last year's Super Bowl, was a big part of getting him to become the highest paid Patriot of all time. We've talked ad nauseum about how much he's delivered this season. The big dogs come out in January. The real big dogs come out in February, and that's what Milton Williams showed last year. How crucial is he to this game?
Oh, he's absolutely essential to this game. When you look at a guy that may have the defensive fate of the New England Patriots resting on his shoulders, with the possible exception of Christian Gonzalez, I think Milton Williams is the guy everybody's going to be looking at. And the impact he's had on this defense, whether it be the run defense or the pass defense, has been so indelible. Cam, one of the things that I really love about what this defense did this year, right from the start with Milton in the lineup, they're getting upfield. It leads to a lot more plays behind the line of scrimmage. Patriots almost never got to that point last year. They were consistently doing it with Milton in the lineup, and that's been a big reason why that they've had so much success with him. This went from a team that struggled to generate early down pressure to a team that really, along with Christian Barmore and Caleb Van Chieson and, of course, Harold Landry on the edges, they've gotten to the point where they're the ones that are keeping teams on their heels. They're coming at you from all ends and giving you every opportunity to kind of fall apart, essentially. They're not giving their opponent any room to be able to make plays and really get down the field. And when he hasn't been in the lineup, the time where he was out on injured reserve, you saw the run defense suffer as a result, and even the pass defense. So this is a guy that absolutely is crucial to the New England Patriots game, and just his ability and his experience in a game like this is going to be so important and so indelible. I found myself going back and doing a lot of research on the 0-1 team this week because of the similarities that you're hearing. And, even now with, young quarterbacks banged up a little bit, he's going into a Super Bowl and they're going against the juggernaut. No one's giving him a chance. It really was. I felt like, again, Back to the Future, I felt like old Biff, something really familiar about all this, Cam. It felt that way. And one of the things that I kept reading was some of the younger players going to guys like Roman Pfeiffer, going to guys like Brian Cox, who had experience, really kind of carrying them in terms of how they were able to conduct themselves on the field. Just that wisdom and counsel, so to speak, was so important. So when you look at any way you slice it from this game, Milton Williams is a crucial part of what the Patriots need from him to do well and bring home a Lombardi trophy.
And if it's anything like last year, could be in for a nice night, at least from Milton Williams.
Absolutely, yeah.
About the rest, we'll see. And let's kind of talk about the rest. Obviously, the Seahawks are what I would consider heavy favorites for a Super Bowl line. And I don't even find that terribly disrespectful. I get that. The Seahawks team has looked really good, and they just knocked out the Rams, who a lot of people thought would be in this game. So looking at, I'm going to use the word concerned again, or some variation of it. What is the most concerning part to you about this matchup from the Patriots side?
Well, it's whether or not you're going to be able to keep that and allow your offense to operate. That's problem one. New England needs to be able to decipher a manner in which they're controlling the line of scrimmage, winning the battle when it comes to time of possession, and also making sure that you're making plays when your opponent is not able to do so. You have to find their weakness. It's not easy to do it, but Mike Vrabel and that defensive coaching staff is going to need to really put all of their effort into making sure that they have a solid game plan and going against that defense. But offensively, I think the Seattle team does not necessarily get the accolades or the credit that they deserve for being a solid offensive team. I've watched Sam Darnold in his I'm seeing ghosts era and running around and not being aware of where he was on the field. I don't see that same Sam anymore. He's got players around him that can make plays, and I think he's well coached in that area. You can't say anything that would be detrimental unless you continue to heap him with praise for Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's been amazing when it comes to what he's able to do. 1,700, almost 1,800 receiving yards this season. I mean, that really is incredible. I mean, just a phenomenal year for him, and he continuously gets separation from his targets. So Patriots secondary is going to need to be ready for that. They're going to need to play their best game of the season in order to be able to stop these guys. And you've got guys like Cooper Kupp and even Kenneth Walker, who's able to receive out of the backfield. Rashid Shaheed is someone you need to keep an eye on at all times because he's got blazing speed to be able to make things happen. The guy that I would keep an eye on if I'm a Patriots fan right now is Seahawks tight end A.J. Barner. AJ hasn't necessarily put up ungodly stats this year, but he's very good in the red zone. He's got 7 red zone touchdowns this season, so it's very important for you to keep an eye on him and make sure you know where he is at all times. Patriots secondary, especially the more mobile linebackers, are going to need to account for him at all times because he can be a target of he can be definitely a favorite target, yes, of Sam Darnold. So you need to be very watchful of these guys, and in my opinion, that could end up being one of the keys to this game. So those are the types of things that I'm watching very closely if I'm a Patriots fan right now.
Do the Seahawks have the quarterback edge?
I don't necessarily think I'm going out on that limb right now. I think that Drake is someone that has the ability in terms of natural ability, I think in terms of confidence, and I think in terms of the synergy that he has with his teammates. But again, Darnold is not the same guy that's going to cower in the corner that the Patriots have had and seen in years past. If they can devise a system where they can keep him off his game, he can be knocked off his pedestal. It's not an insurmountable task for the Patriots defense to contain Sam Darnold, but they're going to have a much more difficult time doing it now than they did back then. He's emerged and evolved so much as a quarterback that it will be a formidable matchup. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to try to do it.
Mike Debate, Sports Illustrated, Patriots on SI. You had a great little feature on Ben Brown. I thought that was really cool. This is a Super Bowl family legacy. I won't give too much away, but a very cool kind of family legacy for his family in the Super Bowl. What do you got cooking before we get you out of here?
Well, this week it's going to be all X's and O's, ups and downs. We're going to continue to attack this game from every angle, and we're going to break down all of the Seahawks. Still doing a ton of research. It's still very much fresh in my mind, so a lot to get down and put pen to paper and get a chance to give Patriots fans an example of what they're going to see on the field. But we're going to continue to give you exclusives. Last week I had the privilege of talking with Tommy DeVito, Patriots quarterback, that was very complimentary of Drake Maye and of Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel. So definitely check that out on New England Patriots on SI. And we'll continue to bring you the very latest from Santa Clara. It's going to be a great week, and we cannot wait for kickoff on February 8th. But enjoy the week leading up to it because that's part of the fun, folks.
Oh, can't wait. Mike Debate, next time we talk to you, our lives will be changed in some way. But Mike, always appreciate you taking the time and joining us on the Wicked Boston Show.
Cam, always a pleasure, always a privilege. Thank you for so much for having me this year. And hey, hopefully the next time we speak, the Patriots will have one more Lombardi trophy to paint on the tail of aircraft when it comes back and it lands back in New England.
Yes, that is what I'm talking about. I don't mind getting a new flag out in front of the house. It says 6-time Super Bowl champs right now. Wouldn't mind adding to that. But guys, let me know, what do you think the Patriots, where do you think the Patriots have the advantage? And are people still sleeping on Sam Darnold? Because I think Mike is right. People are still sleeping on Sam Darnold a little bit. Let me know in the comment section below. Then be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel because we come at you every weekday live on YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. Going to take a little break in terms of like a 2-minute break here. And then when we come back, going to talk a little Red Sox. They have been active. They've been trying to work in the shadows while everybody's talking about the Patriots. Let's catch up on the old Hometown 9 coming up next on the Wicked Boston Show.
Blackmore Bar and Kitchen, located in Charleston, is the perfect spot for a bite and drink before a Bruins or Celtics game at TD Garden. Blackmore Bar and Kitchen offers 34 rotating beers, craft cocktails, and an eclectic menu of tavern favorites like burgers, sandwiches, and flatbreads. Join us for brunch every Saturday and Sunday, plus pre- and post-game garden events. Blackmore Bar and Kitchen. Check us out at blackmorebar.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
So all you have to do is tap your Popple to the back of someone's phone, like that, and they instantly get your social media and contact info right on their screen. They don't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. So get your Popple today and start impressing everyone you meet. Make it pop.
Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. Samsonite. We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high-traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Welcome back. Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. How about Mike Debate, man? Always coming through for us, even on Super Bowl week. And so definitely check out his work as we go throughout the week here on Patriots on SIs, where you can find him and all the great work they're doing over there. And certainly we're looking forward to talking to Mike next week, whether it's a win or a loss in Super Bowl 60. But those are famous last words, I guess. Even in Super Bowl week, the Red Sox need to get their fingerprints on the news cycle here in Boston. And thank God they did. Because finally, yes, the news comes across the timeline. The Red Sox trade Jordan Hicks. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Finally. It does come at the expense of having to trade David Sandlin as well to the Chicago White Sox. And Sandlin was a guy they liked. Let's be honest, he's about to turn 25. Split between AA and AAA last year. Late bloomer, hard thrower. Certainly there was something there that they liked. They probably didn't want to get rid of him, but Jordan Hicks is gone. Arguably the centerpiece of the Rafael Devers trade is gone. And I know some people hate when we put it this way, but until something changes, you have to look at it this way if you're a Red Sox fan. Because last year you started the season with Rafael Devers and Alex Bregman. This year you will not have either of them. And you traded two of the pieces in the Rafael Devers trade for a couple of shitty months of Dustin May and a no-name prospect from the White Sox. It was 21st in their top 30 in the pipeline. That's Gage Zeal, by the way, guy they got from the Cubs. So essentially, again, for the Alex Bregman thing, which he didn't even re-sign, you traded Rafael Devers for a couple of shitty months from Jordan Hicks and a couple of shitty months from Dustin May. Congratulations. And now you move on and you have to include a guy that you do like in your pipeline just to get rid of Jordan Hicks. The good news is you're shedding a ton of that salary. Still owed $25 million. $25 million on a 4-year, $44 million that he signed with the Giants. The White Sox are going to pay 17 of it because you put David Sandlin in there. They're going to pay 17 of the $25 million. So you're going to pay Jordan Hicks $8 million to suck next year. You could have paid Rafael Devers $30 million and dealt with the headache and gotten 30 home runs, but instead you said, we don't want that headache. We'll take the headache that you don't want and flip him. So great. You don't have Rafael Devers, but you're only paying $8 million to Jordan Hicks next year. Like, of course, we're not happy about that, but also, of course, this move had to happen. He was awful with the Red Sox. They were a win worse with Jordan Hicks. And that's not even taking Rafael Devers into account. He had a negative WAR, of which he has had the last 3 seasons, or really, the last 2 seasons, split up between 2 teams. But he threw 18 innings for the Red Sox. It is an illustrious Red Sox career. He threw 18 innings, gave up 17 runs, and had an ERA plus at 51. To put that into layman's terms, he was half as good as the league average pitcher. Half as good. His FIP was atrocious. His strikeout to walk was as bad as it's ever been. But boy, does he throw hard. And boy, does he have a hard sinker. Oh, the stuff is there. We'll work with the stuff. You didn't. He didn't even make your postseason roster. You're trading him for nothing, for a nobody prospect. And man, I will tell you, Craig Breslow, if you're in a contest with Craig Breslow for finding pitchers to trade for nothing, finding players you could trade for nothing, bam, you're going to be beat. You are going to be beat. Craig Breslow will have you beat every time. And it's funny, I've got the baseball reference page of Jordan Hicks up, and they have a little ad in the corner, little ad player there. And sometimes they'll come around with the league leaders in wins. And right there in the top 10 is Quinn Priester, another guy the Red Sox traded for, you guessed it, nothing. Nothing. I'll give them a bit of a pass on Quinn Priester. Like, that was a guy who you had given a chance to. Didn't work out. You had plenty of other pitching prospects. Can't say the same about Rafael Devers. Can't say the same about him. You got nothing for him, and he's pretty good. And you did know that he was pretty good. But here's the big takeaway that I have with Jordan Hicks in this trade. It has nothing to do with Jordan Hicks or the Chicago White Sox, even. But the biggest takeaway from me in the Jordan Hicks trade to Chicago is, what is this? Okay, Yoshida had a nice last month of the season. He was actually pretty critical for you down the stretch. But let's be honest. He's not an everyday major leaguer. He is a singles hitter who can't play defense, and it has an insane ground ball rate. He is going to bounce out to second base more often than not. And that's crazy. Like, he is a king of grounding out to second base. And when you wanted to trade Jordan Hicks, you needed to put in David Sandlin in there just for someone to eat up the contract. And I did see, it was a great point by Ian Kundle, is his name, on Twitter. I was like, what does this mean for Masataka Yoshida? And he said the Hicks deal gives you an idea of the challenges for that. It cost them David Sandlin to save $16 million over 2 years. That is less than 1 year of Masa Yoshida's contract. So we talk about you want to tack on somebody just to trade him. I don't know if there's a player in your system that you're willing to do that for. You know, are you going to be able to tag on a Patrick Sandoval? Probably not. Like, we're talking Christian Campbell type, Marcelo Meyer type, if you want someone to eat up that contract. And obviously you're not doing that. But it goes to show once again how the quote-unquote big money deals they've thrown out there the last couple of years have not worked, whether it was their fault or not. You know, Masa Yoshida, his game goes to shit. Can't play in the major league level. Not every day. Alex Bregman, you lowballed him. So you got 1 year of $40 million out of that. Congrats. Rafael Devers, you traded him to get rid of the headache. Congrats. This Red Sox team is good in 2026. They are good. They might have the best starting rotation in the American League. There's still so much to clean up. And this is why Red Sox fans are frustrated, because you had done everything right to become a contender, a real legit World Series contender in 2026. And they're a good team. They should be a playoff team. But it's frustrating that you are this good, and yet you still have these landmines around you that you keep walking into. You know, you don't go out and get Pete Alonso, even though you have the money. You know, you don't make the trade for a Joe Ryan or someone who could have helped you at the deadline. Instead, you went for Dustin May. And wow, who would have thought? The Los Angeles Dodgers getting rid of a starting pitcher right before a stretch drive. Maybe he's not that good. He's not that good. You know, you still have huge holes in this lineup, and you still have immovable contracts. It's still so frustrating, but thank God Jordan Hicks isn't on the team anymore. I'll say that because that was frustrating, man. That was a guy that was never going to figure it out. And now you know. So that goes to show you, like, I don't know where this segment was even going. But I'm glad they got rid of Jordan Hicks. But that said, it shows you how challenging it's going to be to get rid of the other guys who are just eating away at your salary. And it still highlights that you have a ton of holes in this team that I don't know if you can figure out, because they're not going to buy anybody. I mean, the bats are already gone, right? But like, they're not going to buy anybody no matter how much money they save. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live on YouTube every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then we're available wherever you get your podcasts as well. So thank you so much for making it your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. Thank you to Mike Debate. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today. We will see you tomorrow from the West Coast on another edition of what we like to call the Wicked Boston Show.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.